Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. The great Judah Friedlander is here. How to Beat Up Anybody is his book, and God, I've loved this book for close to a year now. It's one of my favorite things. I just laugh out loud.
My son loves it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Would you call it appropriate for an 8-year-old? We were having this argument.
I thought it, yeah.
I think the only things, there's only about 3 or 4 pages that might be inappropriate. There's no bad words in it, but there are naked strippers in it, and there are actually real strippers from the Harem in Lodi, New Jersey.
Yeah.
A great strip club. The Harem in Lodi, New Jersey.
The Harem.
Yeah.
What a great name. One of my favorite parts is how to beat up someone on a unicycle.
Yeah.
Because, again, you don't see that tip a lot. Like, first of all, you don't come across someone on a unicycle.
Very fresh.
And the reason is
take.
because
they're dangerous.
They are.
They have good balance.
Yeah.
They have the height. And their arms are free.
Unicyclists are dangerous. It says right here, unicyclists are dangerous. They have excellent balance, are resourceful. Now, why are they resourceful?
Look at the elements. You know, they're always performing in front of crowds, and, you know, they wear makeup sometimes, and, you know, they just use one wheel. You know, a lot of people will be like, oh, there's one wheel? Oh, I can't use that. They use it.
Yeah.
That's resourceful.
If you ever see someone on a unicycle, start self-offense immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't just teach self-defense, self-offense. Karate kick first, ask questions never.
No, but this is interesting. This unicyclist has the height advantage. He approached me so quickly, I didn't have time to resize. Now, what is resize?
Oh, I have a whole chapter on sizing.
Now, what does that mean?
Well, see, naturally, I'm 7'5".
Oh, okay.
But I, you know, so I don't intimidate people in public, I usually size down to 5'10", which is what I'm at today.
Oh, okay.
So depending on who you're fighting, I teach you where you can size down to 3 inches tall or like 300 feet high.
So with a unicyclist, you want to resize to your 7'5", but you didn't have time.
I didn't have time to, so I just stayed at 5'10" and still took him out.
But with one kick, you see here the unicyclist.
Yeah, dead. And then I read what it says at the bottom there.
And then a pogo stomp to the face will demobilize the unicyclist. In 5 weeks, the unicyclist should wake up from a coma, and in about 2 years, he'll be 50% back to normal. By then, he should be able to comprehend the lesson I have taught him. Do not threaten people arrogantly with a unicycle.
Yeah, they're all stuck up, those unicyclists.
Yeah.
They think they're so cool.
I like that you're beating up a ninja right here in a 1984 Iron Maiden jacket.
That's actually a 1984 World Champion jacket.
Oh, it's a stonewash.
And Iron Maiden played at the World Champion ceremony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're very close.
Do they play Run for the Hills?
Yeah.
Now, is this stonewashed?
Yeah.
Acid wash.
Oh, it's acid wash.
Yeah.
It's acid wash.
Yeah. It's the best kind of denim.
Mike, did you actually...
Don't ever try to fight a ninja in stonewash. You have to use acid wash because the acid on the jacket, if they kick you, it actually rubs off on their foot and it messes up their sinuses.
Here you beat up a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Never fight foot to foot with a Bigfoot. Attack the upper body first and then work your way down. Do you know that 95% of Bigfoots are left-handed?
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, I teach that in the
No,
book.
but Bigfoots look slow, but besides me, they are the fastest species on land, besides you.
Yeah, besides me. Cheetah's at number 4.
Now, Mike, did you read the book, How to Beat Up Anybody?
I have Judah's book at home, absolutely.
Now, listen, I think you need this because you know, Mike has his own superhero character. It's called Tubby Man, and he fights bullies. But we want him to do another character. I mean, have you rethought the superhero thing?
Actually, Judah was in Tubby Man. He did a cameo for me.
Oh, really? Well, we want him to do it. You know how Spider-Man was bitten by a spider?
Yeah.
We want to do a superhero where Mike plays a guy who's bitten by a dung beetle.
Ooh.
And he emits a stench, and he's called Pooperman.
I like this.
And he smells like poop. And every time you know a villain acts up, he goes to them and they just throw up from his stench.
He can also roll powerful dung balls.
Yeah, like he
at
rolls
his enemies.
I think that's good.
Oh, there he is. There's Pooperman. That's him.
Oh, dude, I like that. One time...
Look at Pooperman. That's him as a dung beetle. Mike, do you know the money that'll just come in? I hear the
you look happier there, Mike. I'll be honest.
He looks hilariously happy. Mike, I can smell, part of the pun, I can smell the money coming in right now.
Oh, yeah.
And is that Pooperman on the at Fenway Park or the bridge? Where that's at the Brooklyn Bridge.
Can you guys get Pooperman lunchboxes?
Well, no, it's
Always
not appetizing.
already thinking of marketing. Already on
It's
the
actually
marketing.
not appetizing, but.
Yeah.
And I saw something on Twitter that you could have helpers and they could be called your stenchmen.
Is that what they said?
Like on Batman. He
Did
had,
someone on Twitter say that? That's
like that.
perfect. You're stenchman.
no, that's awesome.
Mike, seriously, you've never looked happier.
Like Filato and my ball of dung.
Mike, you've never looked
What
happier.
kind of dung is that?
Look at that ball of dung.
Moon rock.
Mike, look at you. You're Pooperman.
It's Indian elephant dung, I think.
Very
Now he could
likely.
be your sidekick. Dan could be your sidekick.
Yeah.
Your
Can we-
stenchman.
Yeah, but do we get any chicks?
Probably not.
Well, yeah, you get smelling chicks who smell horrible.
Okay.
You agreed to it.
I mean, why should this be any different?
Probably chicks.
It won't be any
who are-
different than your regular life. It'll be chicks that smell horrible.
Maybe just smef chicks.
Would you look at that? Could you imagine coming back as a dung beetle?
Mosquitoes are awesome, man.
They really look at those things. Oh my-
They're amazing.
I mean,
are.
I think they are.
I mean, you talk about ingenuity.
Look
You
at
know,
Fascinating lives.
Look at the look on Filato's face.
Dan's very content, but Mike is just ecstatic.
Mike, you're happy. Mike, you're happy. You're the happiest dung beetle I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And Dan looks like he just like smoked some weed or something. Like he's just very content. Yeah, you look very pale for a dung beetle though. They're usually darker than that.
Yeah, Mike, you look like you just found out it's like your surprise birthday party. You look just so happy, man.
It's Pooperman and Slobbin.
One of the best homeless guy things.
Slobbin? But
Not homeless guy things, but
No,
like
but-
a panhandler in the subway thing story is me
You
and
can
my
say
friend Mike.
homeless guy.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he was homeless or not, but it was me and my friend Mike.
Let's make him homeless. It's better for the story.
It was about 20 years ago. Me and Mike were sitting on the subway platform, and all of a sudden, this stench comes up, and it's like summertime. It's like 100 degrees down there.
I think I know the guy you're
this
talking about.
stench is so powerful, you can like barely breathe. And I look over to my friend Mike, who's sitting next to me. He has a tear running down his face. My friend Mike Weiss, he's got a tear running down his face. And we're like, where is this coming from? And
it's
then we
a
look
guy.
in front of us. There's like this 65-year-old guy. He's wearing a winter coat.
Of course he is.
Jewish guy with a white beard and a yarmulke.
Right.
And he's just not saying anything. He's just got his hand in front, just looking right at us.
And like, I'll
then we
get
look
away
down,
from you
And then
if
we
you
look
give me money.
down, and he has a brand new pair of white high-top shoes with no laces on, and a huge, fresh, wet pile right on his shoe. And he just stands there, not doing anything, just standing there.
What, from himself?
I don't know. It was a huge.
His own poo?
I mean, I don't know how you take a dump on your own shoe.
Sure you can.
I mean, he must have taken it off, taken a dump on it, and then put it back on. And
Maybe
he just
like
stands
his
there.
shoe- maybe
he
his
just
shoe-
stands there looking at us, not saying anything. I don't even think he moved his arms. He's just looking at us.
And basically saying, "I'll
my
get away from you if you give me money."
And then my friend Mike, like tears are going down, and then he actually just pulls out his wallet. Then he hands the guy $1.
See, that's
and the
the-
guy just waddles off.
That's the power you'd have, Mike.
Yeah.
People would give you money to get away from them.
Sounds good to me.
He had a fresh pile of poo.
Yeah.
Do you think this guy's in a living hell where another homeless person crapped on him every day?
Maybe. I don't know. It's like a mystery.
Like we just sneak up on him. Oh, he
Yeah.
was asleep. Oh, God.
Yeah, but
What
it
a horrible.
it really was like he had superpowers because it was like 100 degrees down there. He's wearing a winter coat.
I know, winter coat, and he's crapping.
Brand
on
new
himself. That's
shoes.
like- at that point,
Yeah.
At that point, it's like, God, take this poor soul.
Yeah.
Take this poor soul.
It was another
God.
homeless man's jealousy playing out. He was
He
jealous
pooed
of
on
the
him?
new
It was
shoes, so
truly
he
amazing.
secretly pooed on them. Well,
Can I see the dung
Your
beetle
guy
again
was
with
asleep.
Dan and the?
It's very happy.
Well, I want to see both. Can we do a split screen where it's Mike as the dung beetle?
Yeah, that's just.
Do you know how hard it was to find that picture?
That is perfect.
Yeah.
It's Pooperman. Look at Filato's face. That's literally a living hell. If there's a living hell, if you come back, you'd be a dung beetle with bush shedding.
Yeah. The only
You
thing-
would go shitty meat dung beetle on the same piece of dung.
Yeah, the only way that can make it worse is if that were Brock's poo.
Oh no.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back with more of the Artie Lange Show. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. So let's talk about this cause that you have as a comedian.
Yeah.
You are anti-check spots, and you want to get clubs to change some. Explain, first of all, what a check spot is.
Yeah, the check spot is also known as the check drop or the dropping of the checks.
Right.
Basically, you know, when as an audience member, when you go to the movies, you pay at the beginning, and if you go to a restaurant, you pay at the end. But in a comedy club, you always pay somewhere right in the middle. So imagine going to a movie,
Right.
and you're having a great time. There's about 20 minutes left of the movie, maybe 15 minutes left of the movie, and all of a sudden, all the ushers come out and all the employees of the movie theater come out, and they start making you, giving you your check and
Right.
making you pay for your popcorn.
That's when
and
you
your
pay for
ticket
it all.
right
That's
there.
right, exactly.
And you're like, you're trying to watch.
That's exactly
the,
what it's
the
like,
movie
yeah.
there, and you're getting interrupted, and then the people next to you are like, "Hey, wait, it costs this much? Oh, I didn't know that." And then it's just complete chaos, and you can't even hear the movie, and you can't even look at it, and it's dark, so you're trying to figure out.
So
the
it
bill.
ruins the experience
Yeah, for
of the
the
people
audience.
around you because they're dealing with their own check and they're hearing you complain.
Yeah.
Secondly, now imagine that it's not a movie; the people are real performing.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the ultimate thing that they never want to hear. How about at a Broadway play? What if they did it at a Broadway
Yeah,
play?
exactly.
At a Broadway play, if you had to do it at the and it's the last act where you really want to see it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the best part of the show.
Yeah. So
And
that's
it
what
gets
happens.
Completely interrupted.
That's
So-
what happens at a comedy.
Yeah,
club.
like 90, and I love comedy clubs. You know, it's like that's where I started. I work there all the time. I spend most of my life in comedy clubs. I love comedy clubs. I just want to make them better. But 98% of comedy clubs in the country do that. They make the audience pay
Why?
the bill.
The
Why
check-
the
well,
show's
here's
going.
the
Why
thing.
do they
There's
do
two, There's to me, in my opinion, there's three main reasons.
Right.
One, they're afraid of people skipping out on their check and leaving and not paying their
That's
bill.
the biggest one.
Right.
I'm sure
And
that
then
happens
the other one,
quite a bit. Here.
And the other one is getting if they're doing two shows that night, they want to make sure that they get the audience out, clean the place, and get the new audience
Right.
in
It's
time for the
it's
next show.
turnover. It's
Yeah.
turnover for the next
Turning
show.
around. So,
but
and then the
that's
other
no
reason
excuse
is-
for the late show. But the late show, they say, well, if we keep these guys later, then it's overtime because now they pay them by hours.
Right.
Hourly.
And then the
which
other
is
reason
BS.
is
I don't want to hear that.
The other reason, which is I think one of the main reasons, is that this is just the way they've been doing it, and people don't really think about changing, and they don't want to make the effort to change. And they have their system, it works, and they just keep doing it.
But
you
the
know?
clubs
it's
are
kind
so-
of like as a comic, if let's say, and I'm guilty of this often too. You have your first opening joke that always kills. So you just keep doing it over and over again instead of working on new ones.
Right.
Like you always got to be moving forward.
You get lazy.
And I think it's something that, and I've talked to guys who, there's about 5 clubs I can think of in the country that don't drop the checks on the audience during the show. And all of those clubs are top clubs. And
Well, we said the Comedy Cellar
Yeah.
here in New York, and
Yeah.
guess what? That's why Chris Rock and Colin Quinn and Jerry Seinfeld stop by there a lot to do sets, because they want to go on later in the night maybe, and they don't have to deal with any of that.
Right, exactly.
And if God forbid, Chris Rock was on stage and the owners of those clubs saw them doing it to them, they'd go, well, waiter would get fired.
Yeah.
But to a comic who needs that audience's attention, because if you don't have an audience's attention, you're not going to do well in comedy.
Yeah,
You're
and
going to
think about
bomb
it, as an
because they
audience-
have you got to listen to everything. You got to listen to the setup to get the joke.
Yeah.
And if you just find out it's $11 for a Rolling Rock,
yeah.
you're going to get mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sucks.
And so, but I've talked to people that I've been working in comedy clubs over, almost 25 years. And I've talked to people that manage and own clubs, and the ones that drop the checks after the show. I was just talking to a guy who runs the Governors and the Brokerage on Long Island. They drop the checks after the show, he says, and he says that they actually get less people walking out on their bills.
Right.
And the Comedy Cellar, they do 4 shows a night on Friday and Saturday, and they drop the checks after the show, and that's the most successful club in the city.
No, it is. A lot of people like going
So
there. And
I
it
think-
sells out every show on a
I
Tuesday
think-
night.
Yeah, and I don't want to make club owners or managers out to be the bad guy. I just want this to be it's like a subject people don't want to talk about. So that's why I started the petition and website so that people can be like, all right, look, let's talk about it. Let's try to make things even better, and
Well, that brings me to an excellent way to plug my next business venture. I live in Hoboken, New Jersey, and the club I'm going to open, which I hope you'll help me with, the first weekend, will not do this. We will drop the checks after the show. And how about this, buddy? Just did you hear the? Do you hear the?
I'm feeling it.
Do you hear it ringing? It's up
Yeah.
there with the Pooh Man. Pooperman. Ho joking.
Ooh.
Can you guys just hear the comedy? Can you hear the ka-ching, Hochetti?
I can hear a ching.
Ho joking. Here's what Ho joking does. First of all, it tells you what kind of place it is. It's a
Yep.
place you're going to hear jokes.
Yeah.
There's joking going on in Ho joking.
Yeah.
A comedy club. It also tells you where it is.
Where it is.
Where it is in one word, in one sweep.
And subliminally, it has the word hoe in there,
You think.
which implies, you know, loose women
Hookers!
and Santa Claus. And who doesn't like hookers and Santa Claus?
Picture a hooker giving oral to Santa Claus while he's telling a joke.
Yeah. That's hoe joking.
That's Ho joking.
And hey, that's for the guys. What about for the ladies?
We don't care about that.
It's got the word Ken. It's
that?
got their ideal man.
Yeah,
that
you're
they
right,
thought
Ken,
about their
from
entire
Barbie and
lives.
Ken.
It's Ken from
It's a
Ken
bit
and
of a,
Barbie.
it's a bit of a stretch, but I'll give it to you.
Okay. But it's got something for
Ho
everyone.
joke, guys. Ho joking. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it, guys?
I
And the
sure
checks are dropped after the show. All right,
Sounds good,
you
man.
guys are laughing at me.
And also,
No, we're not laughing. We know you're a great moneymaker, absolutely.
What?
No, but you're a well-respected jerk off.
No, but honestly, how do we get this done? What do we do?
well, I think the start is just to show, get people aware of this, because some people aren't even aware of it. They're just like, oh, this is just how it is, and then you go to other places and you realize it doesn't have to be this way.
It's something
and then
that
you
I've
look
never considered, without
right,
a doubt.
and then
People probably just don't know.
Well, you're not a comedian. You don't care. I mean,
But then it's like, but if you look at the clubs, certain clubs that do it, and they're successful clubs. I think it's a club should at least try it,
Right.
And it's when they say they can't do it, it's like.
but that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Of course they
Well,
can do it. Of
Yeah,
course
they
can do
say
it.
it's there's not enough time to turn the room around, all that stuff. But the Comedy Cellar does it every night. The Stress Factory does it every night. And also, if you're doing just one show on a night, there's definitely no reason to drop it, during.
Right.
You know.
I agree with you. No, okay,
So,
listen.
so hopefully people give it a shot.
Let's get it on Twitter.
And
I'm
I'm
in.
willing to discuss it. And on the website, you can, if you sign it, you can also list if you're a comic, an audience member, a club owner, a manager, or whatever. So
All right. Well, we'll get into this. And
World
remember,
champion, getting serious.
Ho joking.
just trying to make just
profound.
pave the way for Ho joking.
And think of Ho joking. August 1st through 3rd, the Comedy Club in Rochester, New York. Daisy Dukes. Absolutely. Don't drop the check during the show.org. Okay, here's the website. www.don'tdropthecheckduringtheshow.org. Don't drop the check during the show.org.
It might be checks. I think it's checks.
It says check.
Might be spelled wrong. Or it's also just dropthecheckspot.org.
Yeah, okay, okay. But I'll tell you, it's a worthwhile cause. And
Yeah.
we're going to come back and finish out the show after this.
Thanks, man.